Good evening, yogis. My name is Daniel. This is Daniel Lee Yoga. Thank you for joining me for practice today. This week we're doing chair yoga. And I just want to take a second before we go any further to give you a minute or two to grab a chair for practice. So it's something a little different than what we typically do. And just want to explain what kind of chair we're looking for. So I'm seated in a nice, just rigid, structurally sound chair. We got four legs, it's got a back, and it doesn't have arms in it. So that's what we're looking for is a nice, stable chair without any arms. Other options, if you have an exercise ball, it's not recommended for today. Maybe you can adapt some of the poses that we do today on your exercise ball, but I would say stay away from that today. Also, as far as like a wheeled office chair, something with wheels and that spins, again, this can be a lot of fun, but not very appropriate for class today. It's just a little too unstable for the majority of the poses that we do. So just want to point that out. So again, we're looking for a nice stable chair that has a back, but without any armrests. So I'll place these off to the side as you take a moment to find your chair. That's not to say that you can't adapt some of the poses we do today on these other objects that you sit on or sitting on the couch or any other kind of seat that you typically have. All right, we've got Coney right down here. He is ready to go. Yeah, thank you all for joining me. So as far as chair yoga, I really enjoy the opportunity to teach it to you because it's a more accessible form of yoga. Whether that means it can apply to people that have more limited range or mobility, or maybe you're just someone that is recovering from an injury or just wants to ease off of some stress, maybe from your upper body. I know this week I've really been enjoying giving my wrists a little bit of a break with the more of the chair yoga focus. And so that's just another benefit. And also, I know a lot of us work from home or studying, and we're sitting in chairs all day. So you don't have to do a 60-minute full class every time that you're in a chair, but maybe some of these poses resonate with you. And so just keep that in the back of your mind. Maybe you can spend a couple minutes each day while you're seated, just to give yourself a break, break up the routine of sitting all day, and just kind of open up your body in different ways. So as far as today, it will be a level one focus class, building off of our fundamentals that we worked on Monday. So it'll be a little more involved. Tried to ramp it up a little bit. We're still on our chair. We'll be getting up. We'll have a couple opportunities to get up and out of our chairs. So I hope you're ready to get started. So I think we're ready. Oliver's right in front of me. I'm sure he'll be around. They seem to really love the chair yoga. So take a seat, have your back on the back edge of the chair, and both feet in front of you, hips width distance. Feet nice and planted, heels behind those center toes. Just place your hands on the tops of your thighs, and I love getting practice started with just a little bit of pranayama breath work. It allows us to transition into our practice for this hour, release whatever we were doing earlier in the day, and just forget about whatever you have planned later today or this week. So the pranayama will be samavriti, nice and gentle, equal parts inhale and exhale. When you inhale, you'll inhale through the nose, deeply and completely. And when you exhale, you'll release everything out through the nose as well. Now, to get started, again, place your hands on your thighs. Just make sure you're in a nice, comfortable position. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Start by taking an inhale. Just exhale out through your mouth. Now let's begin. Inhale through the nose. 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose. 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold the breath in. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold the breath out. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold the breath in. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold the breath out. Okay, return to normal breathing. You can gently open your eyes if they were closed. Let me remove these little icons off. We don't need these anymore. Okay. All right, we're all set to go. So let's begin by warming up the arms. Again, still have your back planted towards the bottom edge of your seat. Release the arms down to the sides. Let's inhale the arms up overhead, palms face each other. And then turn the palms away from each other as you exhale, release the arms down. So inhale, palms up, overhead, face each other. Exhale, palms move away, down. Inhale, palms up, overhead, towards each other. Exhale, palms away, release your hands down. One last time, inhale, palms up, overhead. And exhale, release the arms down to the sides. Okay, just gently rest your hands on top of your thighs. We'll add in some cow-cats here. So we'll inhale as we draw the navel forward, send the heart up, maybe look up, cow pose. Exhale, we'll round the back, shoulders separate, let the head hang heavy, cat pose. Inhale, send the heart forward, arch the back, look up, cow pose. Exhale, round the back, shoulders separate, head hangs heavy. Keep going on your breath. Use this opportunity to connect your breath to your movement. And really, we do this pose a lot on our hands and our knees, one of the most common poses. And it's easy to just breeze right through the pose without really being present or aware. As you move through, try to isolate and start the movement from your lower to middle back. Come up through the top of your back and have the head the last thing to arrive. So when you're rounding your back, starting from the middle, come up through the top, let your head hang heavy. And then when you come into your cow, heart lifts, then the head falls back. Let's do one more each way. And just come back to center. Nice neutral spine. Press down through your feet, root down through your sit bones. Take a nice deep inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep the length in your spine and exhale out. Okay, we'll add some spinal rotations now. So keep your hands on your thighs. We'll just gently start to move our spine in circles. So sending your chest forward, to the side and back. Just begin in one direction. Taking it nice and easy. Just warming things up here. Begin to slow your rotations and move the opposite direction. I always like to imagine myself as a spoon and I'm stirring the pot here. And begin to slow Come back to stillness. Now release your arms down to the sides, palms face forward. Let's roll those shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Two more times. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Pause here. Let's reverse direction. So now shoulders come back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. Two more times. Back, up, forward, and down. Last time back, up, forward, and down. All right. Now with the arms down to the side, just go ahead and grab the side of your chair. Just make sure you're comfortable grabbing the side of it, the underside of your chair. We'll add some side leans, and you can really use your arms here to get a little bit deeper in your side leans. But keep both sit bones rooted to make sure one sit bone doesn't rise up off the other. We'll move through these dynamically. So start by still gripping with your left arm. Release your right arm, palm out and up overhead as you inhale, and exhale as you lean over. Coming back up, inhale both arms up. Exhale, lean to the right. Release the right arm down. So inhale both arms up to center. Exhale, release the left, lean over your left side. Inhale back to center. And exhale, release the right arm, lean over that right side. Keep going on your breath. Maybe you move a little bit faster, a little bit slower than I am. Just go at your pace. Let's do one more each side. Oh, sorry, Cody. Got him on the head there. All right, bring both arms up. Release both hands down to the center and down to the sides. Yes, always try and be aware of your pets in the way here. Okay, with your arms down to the side, just take an inhale and exhale. Now bring your arms up to shoulder height, palms face away. Bend your elbows, come into your field goal post, palms facing away. We'll add our twist here now. So we'll inhale as we lengthen, nice long spine. Exhale, twist to your right from the navel up. Just inhale right back to center and exhale, twist to the left. So we'll inhale to center, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, twist to the right. Keep going on your pace. Try to draw the backs of the shoulder blades together on the top of your back, really opening up and broadening those collarbones. When we do our twists in our poses, most likely we have our hips square and we want to isolate the movement from the navel up. So use this opportunity now with your legs are stable. You can really feel how these poses and these twists might feel different with your lower body nice and stationary. Let's do one more each side. And release the arms to the center and down to the sides. All right, now scoot forward to the top edge of your chair with your feet planted directly underneath your knees still. Hands on the thighs. Lift the toes up off the mat and try to lift your try to lift your arches off the mat as well. So you're keeping your heels and the ball of your toe on the mat. So as you lift your feet, you're lifting the inner and outer arches as well. Just notice how this feels. It should feel really light on your feet here. You may start to feel your core engaging. Maybe your quadriceps start to turn on. Your calves are definitely engaged here. Just a nice little stretch here. Just take one more inhale. Then exhale, release the toes, release the heels down. Let's do that one more time. So draw the toes up, all 5 toes off the mat. Try to subtly draw the inner and outer arches. It may not look like much, but you can definitely feel it if you're doing it. The sides of those calves will definitely turn on. We'll just stay here for one more breath. And exhale, gently release those. Now pick up your right foot, send it underneath your chair, drop the top of the toes on the mat or on the floor. Just be very gentle with your feet. You can start to apply a little bit of pressure to the tops of your feet. So this is a stretch for the top of the ankle and for the toes as well. My toes almost always crack when I do this. It's just a unique way that our feet usually aren't in this position a lot of times. So it's just a nice way to give them a little bit of stretch here. But just be gentle, stay away from pain, just go to your capacity. Now gently release that right foot to meet the left foot. Now we'll pick the left foot off the mat, send it underneath your chair, gently release the tops of the toes to the mat. Again, just be very gentle, adding just little bits of pressure, just going to your capacity, staying away from pain. Definitely feel my toes cracking here. Staying for one more breath. And gently release those toes back. Now keep the feet hips width distance, but now extend both legs straight out. Make sure you're on the edge of your chair here and have your feet nice and flexed so those toes are coming back up towards your face. We'll draw the knees into our chest one at a time. So keep the left foot on the mat, draw the right knee in towards your chest, hug that right knee in. Exhale as you release the right leg down, draw that left knee in towards your chest. Exhale, release the left. Inhale, draw the right knee in. And exhale, release the right. Keep going on your breath, just drawing one knee in, releasing and grabbing the other. Now you can keep using your arms, or if you'd like, raise your arms up overhead. And now start drawing one knee in and then the next. Keep your spine nice and long and keep your feet flexed throughout. Let's do two more each side. Last one here. And gently release your arms down to the side. Stay on the top edge of your chair, but bring your feet back underneath your knees. We'll begin to open up the hips now, making this dynamic. So, starting with your feet hips width distance, place your hands on your hips. We'll open up that right leg out to the side, so the right toes face away. Looking for like a 90-degree angle here. Right toes face away, left toes face forward. Try to keep your hip bones facing forward, but let your shoulders open just slightly. And then draw that right knee in. Let's open up that left leg, other side. We'll make this dynamic, so we'll keep going. So we'll draw the left leg back in, right leg out to the side, and right leg in, left leg out. Let's do two more times, each side. Right leg out, back in, left leg out, back into the center. Right leg out, and back in, left leg out, and back in. Okay, so once you finish your second one, just come back. Release yourself back into the, so that your lower back is resting on the back edge of the chair. And we'll do some ankle circles. So lift your right foot up off the mat and just gently start to make circles with your ankles. Try to isolate the movement at the ankle so your shin or your knee isn't moving. Just go in one direction. A lot of these just simple movements where they're really easy to do throughout the day, but we don't normally do this. And my ankle always seems to crack during this. Let's begin to slow and switch directions. Easy things. You can just take a minute or two throughout your day just to do these little exercises. Okay, begin to slow. Release that right foot down. Draw the left foot up off the mat and begin to make your rotations. Again, try to isolate the movement just at your ankle, keeping that knee and shin straight. Switch directions. And come back to stillness. Release that foot down. Make sure your feet are hips width distance. Scoot forward to the top edge of your chair again. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. Create a nice long spine. Keep that length and exhale as you begin to hinge forward. We'll come into a forward fold on our chair. So we can rest our chest on our thighs, have your feet still hips width distance. You can release your arms down, or your palms or your fingertips are on the mat, or maybe you use a block to bring the ground up a little bit closer to you. Now, if you'd like, you can stay here. You also have the option now, you can come up off your chair. So I'll just show you. Simple enough. I'm just going to turn so you can see. So if you're here, you can stay here. If you want to come up off your chair, we're coming into a standing forward fold. Adding to this, we'll move into our ragdoll. So grab opposite elbows. Just let the head hang heavy, the arms hang heavy wherever you are. You're either seated or maybe you start to come up off your chair here. Switch the clasp of your elbows. Try to let that head hang heavy. Just one more breath here. And exhale as you release your head and your arms down. Press your feet into the mat and inhale, just raise yourself back up. Stay on that front edge of the chair. We're going to do some neck circles. So release your arms back behind you and grab opposite elbows just like you did a moment ago, but now behind your back. So to do our neck rotations, we're going to take things very slow. And again, just do what feels right for you. Don't stay away from any pain and take your time so you can notice how this feels. So the point of having our arms behind our back is it really isolates the movement to our cervical spine, tries to keep the thoracic and the middle of our spine out of this. So begin by gently letting the chin fall towards the chest. We'll move in one direction to start. So begin by rotating and letting the right ear come towards that right shoulder. Once you have that, you'll release your head back and start to look up towards the ceiling. Rolling the head back through the center, you're still looking up. Coming to the left as you let your left ear fall down towards that shoulder. Then you let your chin fall towards your chest and come back in towards center. Let's do that one more time, same direction. So right ear to right shoulder. Let the head fall back. Start to look up towards the ceiling. Come through center. Left ear to shoulder. Let the chin fall to the chest and come back to center. Stay here with your chest, with your chin down, and grab opposite elbows. So switch which grasp you have in front. We'll move the other direction now. So with the chin to the chest, gently release that left ear towards the left shoulder. Then chin comes off the chest as your head falls back. Coming through center, let the right ear fall towards that right shoulder. Then the chin comes down through center. One more time this direction. Left ear towards left shoulder. Head falls back. Look up towards the ceiling. Come through center. Let the ear fall toward the shoulder. Chin comes into the chest. And come back to center. Gently release the arms. Release your chin back up. And again, make sure you're at the top edge of your chair. We'll begin to warm up the body with some modified sun salutations now. So you may be familiar with these when we're standing. You'll have the opportunity to either stay on your chair or you can begin to stand up. So I'll work through those. Starting on our chair for now. Feet are hips width distance, heels behind the center toes. Release the arms down to the sides. Take an inhale as you raise your arms up overhead, palms face each other. And exhale, forward fold, hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your hands to your shins, nice flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, release the arms down to the sides. One more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the shins, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale the arms out and up overhead. This time exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Now we'll add on to that. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long spine, hands to the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, release the arms down and out to the sides. Now from here, grab both edges of your chair We'll add a slight back bend. So we'll roll the shoulders up and back and start to lift our heart towards the ceiling. Imagine you have a string at the center of your chest and it's driving you up towards the ceiling. Roll those shoulders up and back. Stay for one more breath here in your back bend. Maybe let your head gently fall back slightly. And exhale, gently come back up. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, release the hands down. One more time. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. This time, exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. So that whole sun salutation was on the chair. We'll move through the next iteration where you have the opportunity to come up off your chair. So you can stay on your chair if you want to stay there. If you want to come up, you'll follow with me. So we'll begin by inhaling the arms up overhead and exhale, forward fold. This is where you can lift up off your feet, come into your forward fold. We'll inhale as we lift halfway and exhale, forward fold. Staying off the chair, inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, release the arms down to the sides. If you're staying in your chair, you'll release the hands behind you. Add your back bend. If you're standing up with me, arms come overhead. And just gently add your standing back bend here. Keep rooting down through those feet. Spin those inner thighs in and back, drawing that tailbone down. Let's inhale back up to center. And exhale, release the arms down. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. You're in your chair or out. Inhale, halfway lift. And now everyone exhale as you release back down into your chair. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the side. So it takes a little bit to get used to it. That's our sun salutations, either in our chair or outside of our chair. So just do what works best for you as we move through those today. Okay, let's come into our gate pose. So just like we opened up our legs before, make sure you're at the top of your mat and we'll open up our leg. Open up the right leg to the right side. So left toes face forward, right toes face to the right side of your mat or to your room. Now, once you have this entire foot planted on the mat, you can begin to start walking your foot out. I have a cat in my way, so I'm only going to move it out to a certain extent, but you can move your foot out as much as possible, but keeping your foot on the mat. Make sure you're on the front edge of that chair. You're still nice and stable. Adding our gate pose here, want to release the right arm down on the right leg. And inhale as you lift the left arm up overhead, and then start to add your side lean. So releasing the right leg down a little bit further. That left arm is up, wrapping this tricep in. Left palm faces towards the right side. Maybe you turn your neck to look up at those fingertips. Keep lengthening through this left side. You're still having your shoulders squared forward. And avoid crunching in the right ribs here. You're lengthening there as well. Just stay for one more breath. Now inhale, both arms up to center. Exhale, release the hands down. Release that right leg back to center. We'll switch to the other side. So releasing this left leg out. So my right toes are facing forward. My left toes are facing to the left side. Again, you can walk your leg out. I have a little more space over here to walk my leg out, but I'm trying to keep my entire left foot on the mat. Now release that left arm down, square your shoulders to the front edge, and inhale that right arm up and overhead. Add your side lean, releasing that left hand down that left leg. Keep your shoulders squared. Maybe you turn to look up at those right fingertips. You're still revolving that right arm forward, wrapping this tricep forward. So the right palm faces towards the left side of your mat. Just stay for one more breath here in our modified gate pose. And inhale, both arms up overhead. And exhale, release everything back down to the center. And release your arms down to the sides. Okay, so stay up towards the front of your chair. And this time, extend your legs straight out. Actually, let's keep the knees bent. So let's Widen both of our legs, keeping the knees bent. We'll come into a modified goddess pose. So keeping your knees directly on top of your ankles, looking for a heels in, toes out. Now root down through your sit bones, rise up through the crown of your head, soften your shoulders away from your spine. Now just begin by resting both hands on top of your thighs. We'll lift the heels up off the mat. So press your toes into the mat and lift your heels up off the mat. Coming into our goddess pose here on our toes. So really pressing down through the tips of our toes, lifting those heels up. And let's add our arms. So lift the arms up to shoulder height, palms face forward, bend the elbows. We've been here before. So keep your arms nice and stable. Try to draw the backs of your shoulder blades together on that top of your back, really opening up the chest here. So you're really engaged here. You'll definitely feel this in your shoulders, your legs, maybe they start to shake. This is a popular pose to take when we're off our chair. So again, use this opportunity to really connect and bring some awareness, keeping those knees on top of the heels, drawing that tailbone down, lifting those frontal rib points up, creating and keeping a nice long spine. Just stay for one more breath here and exhale, gently release. Oof. All right, keeping your legs wide, let's straighten them out. Now this one could be a little tricky. So my legs are straight, my feet are flexed. I want to definitely be on the edge of my chair, but you want to go into this pose very slowly to make sure that you're still stable on your chair. It's possible you could come so far forward that you kind of fall off your chair. So just be mindful of that. We'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. So feet are nice and wide, flex so the toes are coming back up towards your face. If this is enough, just stay here. Otherwise, we'll add our forward fold. So inhale the arms up overhead, palms face each other. Keep a nice long spine. And exhale as you gently start to fold forward. So you'll hinge forward. You can eventually let your arms release down either to the ground, palms come down, fingertips come down, or if you have a block, you can use a block underneath your hands as well. Just keep those feet flexed. You'll definitely feel this in your hamstrings, maybe a little bit in your quads. And just avoid the knees and the feet falling out to the side. So make sure they're staying just as they were as you started to forward fold. Avoid rounding your back here as well. Try to keep your spine nice and long. And keep those arms shoulder width distance if they've released to the mat. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Nice long deep breaths here. And as you exhale, gently release. Come back up. Release your hands back behind you. Bring those feet back into hips width distance. Stay on that front edge of your chair. Now place your block off to the side. Come to that in a couple minutes. Go into now our warrior two pose on our chair. So this is a little fun to do just because it's a little tricky to get into, but again, it's a posture that we normally do on our mat. So while we're on our chair, we have some opportunities to like gaze into other parts of our body that we don't normally focus on when we're in our warrior two. So we'll start by opening this left leg out to the side. So just as we had before, those left toes are facing towards the left side of your room. And make sure you're on the edge of your mat or the edge of your chair and release that right leg straight behind you. Try to keep that entire right foot on the mat. The right toes are slightly forward of the right heel. And it's really like you only have the left butt cheek or the left sitting bone resting on the chair. I want to keep this left knee on top of that left ankle and directly behind those center toes. Keep pressing this right foot back. You don't need exact heel to arch alignment here. It's a little trickier when you're on your chair, but just try to have that entire foot planted with the right toes forward. Now your shoulders should be square to the front. So make sure your shoulders are square and extend both arms out, palms face down. Take an inhale here. And now exhale as you gently turn your neck to look over your left fingertips. So here we go. We're in our modified warrior two pose. Usually we have a lot of work here, pressing our feet down, lifting us off the chair. But use this opportunity with a little bit of support to soften your shoulders away from your ears. That's one thing that's really tricky to remind yourself. You're gently extending both fingertips away from each other, creating length. Just staying for one more breath here in your warrior two. Now release that right hand to the right leg. Left palm comes up towards the ceiling and inhale to reverse your warrior. So right arm draws back, left arm up. Maybe you gaze up to look at those left fingertips. This is our reverse warrior. And exhale, release back down into your warrior two. Keep those shoulders square to the front. And now send your torso forward. Left arm comes forward and down. Release that left arm to the inside edge of that left thigh. Right arm spirals down, up, and overhead, coming into our side angle pose now. So again, that right arm is overhead. Right tricep is wrapping forward so that right palm faces away. This left hand is gently resting in that inner left thigh here. Gently press down through that left ankle. Make sure that knee is still tracking over the ankle. It's a lot easy to let it fall from one side to the other. And keep pressing back to the outer edge of that right foot to balance the weight in both legs. Just notice how this feels if you've done this pose before on your mat without your chair. How does this feel now with just a little bit of support? We'll stay for one more breath. And exhale, raise yourself back into warrior two. And then release your hands back to your hips. Let both legs come back into center. And we can shake it out a little bit before we come into the other side. All right, so now warrior two on our other side. Opening up this right leg so that the right toes face away. Take your time, just gently extend that left leg back. Try to keep that entire left foot on the mat. Keeping this right knee over the right ankle. And the knee tracks behind those center toes. Now square the shoulders to the front. Extend both arms out. And gently turn your neck to look over those right fingertips. Here in our warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2 pose. And soften the shoulders away from the ears. Gently pressing down through that right heel. Press back through that outer edge of that left foot. Stay for one more breath in your warrior two. Now we'll reverse. Release that left arm down. Right palm turns up. Raise that right arm overhead. Keep the shoulders squared to the front. Maybe you turn your neck to look up at those right fingertips. Viparita Virabhadrasana 2, reverse warrior 2. Keep gently pressing down through that right heel. And inhale back up to your warrior 2. And exhale, extend that right arm, torso comes forward. Release the right arm to the inside edge. Left arm spirals down, forward, and up overhead. Left fingertips to the ceiling. Again, check in. Wrap this left tricep forward. Really has that left palm face towards the right side of your mat. Keep pressing back down through the left edge of that back foot and pressing down through that right heel. I notice my knees already moved, so I'm just gently adjusting to keep that knee tracking over my ankle and directly behind my center toes. Just stay for one more breath here in your side angle. And on your exhale, press down through your feet. Lift yourself back up into warrior two. And exhale, release the hands to the hips. Bring both feet back into center. And whew, let's shake it out. Shake those legs out a little bit. All right. Now, at the top of your mat, bring your big toes to touch this time with your heels slightly separated. We'll move into another variation of our sun salutation here. So with your feet touching, knees touching, heels gently separated, release your arms down to the side. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Take an inhale here. And exhale. All right, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, palms face each other. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. You can come up off your chair if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale, lift up, arms up overhead or come into your chair. And exhale, arms down and out to the sides. If you're in your chair, add your back bend with your arms behind you. Otherwise, inhale, lift your arms up, and your standing back bend. Stay for a breath here. And exhale, release the arms down, back up. Wherever you are, lift the arms up overhead. And exhale, release the arms down as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Everyone sit back into your chair. Inhale the arms up overhead one last time. And exhale, hands down through the center and down to the sides. Okay, this is chair yoga practice. It wouldn't be chair yoga if we didn't do our actual chair pose. So we're going to use the assistance of our chair to really get deep into our chair pose here. So keep those big toes touching, heels slightly separated, knees touching. Make sure the feet are make sure the heels are below the knees. And release the arms down to the sides. Nice long spine. Come into your chair pose in your chair. Inhale as you release the arms forward. Send your torso slightly forward so you begin to balance. You start to come so far forward that you can almost stand up off your chair. Now you can allow yourself to stay here, gently resting on that top edge of your chair, or you can maybe come a little bit forward where you come up off the chair here. Wherever you are, make sure you can gaze down and see those toes. If you can't, your knees are too far forward, try to shift yourself back slightly. Just stay for 2 more breaths here in your chair pose. Keep hugging the legs in towards each other, firming those outer thighs in. One last breath here. And exhale, forward fold, either on your chair or not. Let's inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, release the arms down. You're either standing or sitting. Add your back bend. If you're sitting, arms release back. Shoulders open. If you're standing, add your standing back bend. Stay for a breath wherever you are. And exhale, gently release. Everyone inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, release the arms down as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Everyone seated now. And exhale, release the arms down to the sides. Okay, we'll now come into warrior one pose with the chair assisting. Open that left leg out to the left side, just as we started our warrior two. This time we're going to shift our entire hips and our shoulders so they now face the left side of our room. So in our warrior two, our shoulders were squared forward. In our warrior one, or high lunge variation, our shoulders and our hips are squared to the left side. So square your shoulders, and now we'll extend our right leg back behind us. This is where if you have a block, you can place the block underneath that right knee. Keep those right toes curled, and make sure your right knee is farther behind your hip. So you don't want it directly underneath your hip. You want to get a little bit of a stretch here, so make sure that knee is farther behind your hip. Again, just this left sitting bone is gently resting on your chair here. With the right toes curled under, left toes are forward, keeping that left knee tracking on top of that left heel. Again, hips and shoulders are squared towards the front, and our high lunge warrior one variation. Let's add our arms. So inhale the arms up overhead, palms face each other. And then exhale, release the arms to the side, come into your cactus pose. So elbows bend. You can draw the tops of the shoulder blades in towards each other. We'll add our twist now. So inhale as we lengthen. Exhale, twist to your left. So you're twisting over that left foot. Keep pressing that left heel down into the mat. We're staying here for a couple breaths. If you'd like to really challenge yourself, you can keep that right toe curled under. Maybe you begin to straighten that right leg and you start to hover up off your chair. Keep firming both legs in toward each other. You can stay on your chair. Just do what works for you here. One more breath. And exhale, gently release. Turn back to center, both arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through the center and down to the sides. Let's turn back to center. We'll go through a sun salutation before we move to the other side. So just keep that block handy. Big toes to touch, heels separate, knees touching. Hi, Oliver. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Come up off your chair if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. You're in your chair or standing. Exhale, release the arms down. Add your back bend. If you're standing, inhale the arms up. And add a gentle back bend here. Stay for one more breath in your back bend. And inhale the arms up. Exhale, release them down to the sides. Wherever you are, inhale the arms up overhead again. And then exhale, release down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Everyone sit back in the chair. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right, let's switch to the other side now. So our warrior one, high lunge variation. Open that right leg out to the right side so the right toes face forward. Left toes face forward. Everything squares to that right side of the mat. Then I'm going to watch out for Oliver as I extend my left leg back behind me. Resting my left knee on the block. If you'd like, you can keep it off, whatever works for you. You can still use your chair here, either way. Again, making sure everything squares towards that right side. Keeping the right knee tracking over that right ankle. Making sure that left knee is farther behind your left hip. Now adding the arms, inhaling overhead. And exhale, bend the elbows, come into your field goal post. Before we twist, draw the tops of the shoulder blades in towards each other at the top of your back. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale, twist over your right side this time. Keeping your arms up at shoulder height, palms face away. Keep drawing those shoulder blades in towards each other. Press down through that right heel. Firm both legs in towards each other to keep you nice and stable. And if you'd like, you can keep those left toes curled under. Begin to straighten that left leg. Maybe you gently raise up off the chair an inch or two. Or you stay on your chair. Just do what works for you today. We'll stay for one more breath. And exhale, gently release. Turn back to center. Inhale, both arms up overhead. And exhale, release down to the center. Turn everything back into center. Oliver right here. Hello. All right, have your big toes touch, heels separating. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Thank you. Gave me a little bit of space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, either in your chair, off your chair. We'll come into our chair pose. So inhale the arms overhead, send your hips back, knees together, big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Stay just for 2 breaths here. Keep wrapping both of those triceps forward, fingertips of those pinkies in towards each other. One last breath. And exhale, gently release. Everyone sit back in your chair. Release the arms down to the sides. Take a breather. All right, beginning to wrap up class, we'll add a really nice hip opener here as we're starting to wind down. Have a couple different variations. So starting with the right leg, actually bring your feet to hip width distance to start. Thank you, Oliver. Knees over the heels. Now bring that right foot up off the mat. Open that right knee out to the side and release the top of that right ankle on top of the left thigh. So we're really opening the hip here in like a modified figure 4. There they go. Okay, so if this is enough for you, you can stay here. I'll go through a couple different options where we can really deepen this hip opener here. So first off, from bringing your hands to the center of your chest. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale as you gently start to forward fold. Have your hands fall down the center of your chest so that they're behind that right calf. You can stay here. You might feel this a little bit longer, a little bit more, I should say. If you want to move further into a twist, you'll inhale as you lengthen and rise up slightly, and exhale, twist to your left. You'll release this right elbow on top of that right foot, and you'll add your twist here. Keeping the thumbs at the sternum, you're pressing both hands in towards each other. Twisting from the navel up, looking up towards the sky. This is a great prep pose for doing this off the chair when it's really a tough balancing pose here. So stay for one more breath wherever you are. And exhale, gently release. Release yourself back up, arms down to the side, and release that right leg down to meet the left. Just gently shake it out before we move to the other side. So lifting that left leg up, opening that left hip, releasing the top of that left, or the outside of that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Again, if this is enough for you, just stay here. Next option, bring your hands to the center of your chest. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale as you gently forward fold. I should mention, try to keep this left foot flexed. It really helps to keep the alignment between your knee and your ankle, reducing any stress, a little bit of stress off that knee. So you're gently forward folding, drawing your hands down the center of your chest so that your fingers rest behind your calf. You can stay here if this feels nice for you, or if you want to add your twists, you'll inhale as you rise up and lengthen, and exhale, twist, release this left elbow now to the top, or I should say to the bottom of that left foot, and twist from the navel up, bringing the thumbs back to the center of your chest. Pressing both hands in towards each other, twisting and opening up, drawing that right shoulder back. So whatever version you are, just stay for a couple more breaths here. Just one last breath. And exhale, gently release. Raise yourself back up. Release that left leg down. Both arms down to the sides. We'll have one more posture before we start to wrap up. So let's turn everything to the left side. So we're now on our chair facing the left way. So make sure you're fully rooted. We don't want to be on the edge this time. We want to actually be fully kind of on our chair here, nestled in, so that your tailbone is back towards the right side of your chair here. Now, a couple different options for here. Keep your left foot rooted. Draw the right knee up into your chest. You can leave your right foot on the chair if you'd like, or you can let it hover. That's your first option. Now, next option, if you want, use your peace fingers of your right hand and wrap them around your right big toe. So this arm is on the inside edge. So you can see my arm is on the inside edge of my right knee, and I'm wrapping my fingers around my big toe. Now begin to extend that right leg out in front of you. Right arm stays straight, and you start to straighten that right leg. Now it's easy to let this right shoulder come forward, so try to draw that right shoulder back. In order to make that happen, if you need to bend your knee, I'd rather you have your knee bent with your shoulder back than your leg, fully out here with that right shoulder forward. So draw that right shoulder back. This is our second option. Our third option, if you'd like, we'll switch arms. So now you'll take your left arm, grab the outside edge of that right leg, and then you'll open that right arm out and back to the side. Right palm faces towards the front, and you're twisting from that navel up. It's a really good IT band stretch. You should really feel this all the way through the outside edge of that right leg. Keep that left foot rooted, pressing down through that left heel. Maybe you turn your neck to look over those right fingertips. Stay for one more breath wherever you are. And exhale, gently turn back. Release that knee down. We'll switch to the other side. All right, so just walk your feet over. Let's switch around. Oliver and Coney are back. Welcome back. Okay, so draw the left knee up into your chest. So option one, you can keep it here or rest your left foot on the chair. Option two, grab your peace fingers together of your left hand, inside edge of that left leg, wrap them around your big toe. Now extend and start to straighten that left leg and draw this left shoulder back. So this is the second option to stay here. Wherever you are, looking for a nice long spine. So root down through your sit bones, rise up through the crown of your head, soften the shoulders away from your ears. If you'd like, you can stay here or otherwise take your right arm to the outside edge of that left leg and then release your left arm behind you, left palm faces away. Keep both hands up at shoulder height if you can. Get a nice IT band stretch on the outside edge of the left leg. We'll stay here for 2 breaths, whatever version works for you. Just one last breath. And exhale, gently release. Let's come back to center. And now our Shavasana will be our final pose. We have a couple different options using our chair. First option for your Shavasana pose, keep your feet hips width distance, heels rooted. Have your tailbone towards and resting on the back edge of the chair, and just gently let your back rest on the back of the chair. You can stay here softly closing your eyes or your gaze if you'd like, or if you want to come to the ground for your Shavasana, that's your second option. So I'll show you from the ground. Hi, Coney. You'll take and rest both of your calves on top of your chair here. Try to have your hips directly underneath your knees, however far you go up. Once you're here, just gently roll onto your back. Maybe you scoot a little bit closer to your chair here. If you're on the ground, you can gently release your arms down to the side, palms face up. And in our Shavasana pose, anytime we're in our Shavasana pose, if our legs and our knees are gently lifted up off the mat to any degree, a lot of times it allows more of your spine to come in contact with the mat or the floor. So just see how this might feel a little bit different. A lot of times it could feel a lot more open, especially in that low spine. So as you come into your Shavasana pose and settle in, just use this time to release. Release any last little bit of tension you may have, maybe in your toes, your knees, your hips, or your shoulders. You can relax your jaw. Your eyes can gently start to soften, or your gaze can close completely. Just settle in here. Wherever you are, if you're on your ground, or if you're sitting in your chair, just let your body be heavy and melt down towards the ground. And gently begin to bring some awareness back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotate your wrists and your ankles, switch directions in those rotations, and come back to stillness for one last breath here. If you're on your chair, you can stay there. If you're on your back, just gently let your knees fall off to the side as you roll onto one side of your body. Stay for a breath here on your side. Then you can gently use your top arm to press yourself up. You can either come to a cross-legged seat on the ground, or if you want to come back up to your chair, we'll complete our practice there. Resting your palms on top of your thighs, palms can face up, or you can bring your hands into the center of your chest. Let's all take a nice deep inhale together and exhale. Thank you all for joining me in practice today. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in each one of you. Thank you. Peace. Thank you all again so much for joining me in class tonight. Really appreciate you trying something different with me. Hopefully, this is eye-opening in a certain way where it just gives you some opportunities to just try something new. Maybe you're more focused on your posture when you're sitting down. Maybe you allow yourself to move a little bit every so often. We spend so much of our lives in our chairs, and so this just gives you some unique exercises and postures to try to just loosen up when you need to. Hi, Diana. Thank you again for checking in. Always wonderful to see you on the stream. I appreciate that. And I hope you guys appreciated Oliver and Coney here. They seem to like the chair yoga, so they seem to get in the way one way or the other. So I hope you feel great. Enjoy the rest of your week. The next practice will be Friday at 7 p.m. That will be a level 2 focus class. Oh, hi, Lori. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a level 2 focus class. I'm honestly not too sure how I'm going to make this chair yoga a level 2 class, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what I come up with. So if you'd like to join me, next class will be at 7 p.m. As always, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat or in the comments. If you'd like to donate your time, energy, or if you're just interested in learning more about racial or social justice, that link is in the video description as well. So thank you again so much. Take however you feel now into the rest of the day and the rest of your week. I'll see you next time in practice. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Daniel. Peace.